There comes a moment in life when you must decide what deserves your breath, what deserves your energy, and what deserves your peace. Not every argument is worth stepping into. Not every voice is worth responding to. Not every battle deserves your presence. There are people whose greatest weapon is distraction, whose greatest strategy is chaos, whose greatest joy is watching you abandon your purpose to prove a point that never needed proving. When you argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you, you are not debating truth. You are wrestling with noise. You're stepping into a pit that was designed to drain you, not develop you. There are individuals who thrive on conflict. They don't desire clarity. They desire attention. They don't want resolution. They want reaction. They are not looking for wisdom. They're looking for someone to validate their foolishness by entertaining it. And the moment you descend to fight on their level, you lose something far more valuable than the argument. You lose time, focus, and emotional strength. The enemy of your destiny is rarely loud in intelligence, but always loud in ignorance. It's the loud, empty voices that seek to pull you into arenas where nothing can be won and everything can be wasted. You must rise to a place in your spirit where your silence becomes your strategy, where your restraint becomes your weapon, where your peace becomes your proof of growth. You are not obligated to answer every critic, engage every insult, or address every misunderstanding. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Silence is not weakness. Silence is wisdom choosing not to spill itself where it will not be valued. When you argue with someone who refuses to think, refuses to listen, refuses to grow, you're not planting seeds. You're scattering pearls before those who will trample them. Your life is too precious to be spent debating with people who are not even fighting for truth, but only for ego. When people are committed to seeing you incorrectly, nothing you say will correct their vision. When someone is determined to twist your words, no explanation can untangle their intentions. When someone has already decided you are wrong before you speak, they are not your audience. They are an assignment you are not required to accept. Growth is learning that walking away is not surrender. Walking away is stewardship of your destiny. You were not called to every conversation. You were not built for every dispute. You were not designed to wrestle in every arena. There is a higher place where your clarity, your purpose, and your maturity demand that you stop entertaining foolishness. Wisdom teaches you that peace is more valuable than proving a point. Vision teaches you that destiny is more important than defending your pride. Strength teaches you that not responding is sometimes the greatest response you can give. There is power in choosing which battles align with where you're going, and which battles only anchor you to where you've already outgrown. When you refuse to argue with people committed to staying small, you protect the greatness inside you. When you stay focused on your calling, the noise around you loses its power. When you keep your eyes on your purpose, distractions become too insignificant to derail you. You rise above not because you are better, but because you are wiser. You choose peace not because you are passive, but because you are purposeful. You protect your focus because you finally understand that destiny requires discipline, and greatness requires guarding your energy from anything that seeks to drag you downward. There is a wisdom that life teaches you through scars, through disappointments, through moments when you finally realize that peace is too valuable to waste on the wrong conversations. You begin to understand that not every voice around you is speaking from a place of truth, growth, or understanding. Some voices seek only to provoke, to distract, to pull you away from the clarity you have fought hard to gain. And when you learn this, truly learn it, you start guarding your words the way you guard precious treasure, because Every time you step into an argument with someone who has no intention of listening, you give away a part of yourself that was never meant to be spent that cheaply. There are people who do not want clarity, they want conflict. They are not searching for answers, they are searching for reactions. They are not interested in wisdom, they are interested in pulling you into the emptiness that drives them. You cannot reason with someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot elevate someone who chooses to stay anchored in ignorance. You cannot plant seeds of wisdom in soil that has been hardened by stubbornness and pride. Some individuals argue not because they believe they are right, but because they fear feeling small, and your calmness threatens their chaos. Your stability exposes their instability. Your growth irritates their stagnation. So, rather than rise to meet you, they reach to drag you down. And the moment you engage on their level, you step into a space where your intelligence becomes irrelevant and your purpose becomes diluted. Because the argument was never meant to reach a conclusion, it was meant to drain you. There comes a point when you must choose your battles based on the destiny you carry, not the emotions that rise within you. There is a maturity that teaches you the difference between responding and reacting, between defending your truth and wasting your breath. When you argue with someone who refuses to grow, you shrink yourself just to be heard. When you engage with someone who is committed to chaos, you become part of the noise you were born to rise above. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. It is the recognition that your energy is sacred and your purpose too big to be entangled with foolishness. It is the realization that every time you speak, you are spending something valuable, so you must choose where to invest your voice. Growth teaches you that elevation requires separation. If you keep allowing people with small minds to pull you into their shallow battles, you will never walk in the depth of your calling. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. Protecting your focus is not prideful, it is wise. Protecting your purpose is not arrogant, it is responsible. When you decide that you will no longer argue with those who refuse to grow, you free yourself to rise to the level you were meant for. There comes a time in life when you must make a decision that separates the wise from the restless, the mature from the impulsive, the victorious from the defeated. That decision is understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, not every voice is worth responding to, and not every opinion deserves your energy. Some people will never see your truth because they are not searching for it. Some people will never understand your perspective because they are not built to understand it. Some people will never respect your words because they are more committed to proving themselves right than discovering what is real. When you argue with those kinds of people, you are not engaging in meaningful dialogue. You are entering a trap that is designed to exhaust you, frustrate you, and derail you from the path that God, destiny, or purpose has set before you. There are those whose lives are driven by chaos, whose motives are wrapped in selfishness, and whose delight is found in creating tension. They are not seeking solutions, they are seeking reactions. They are not looking for enlightenment, they are looking for ammunition. They are not aiming to grow, they are aiming to pull others down to the level they have chosen to inhabit. And when you step into their arena, no matter how intelligent, patient, or passionate you are stepping into a losing fight. Their strategy is not reason, it is distraction. Their goal is not truth, it is turmoil. Their skill is not debate, it is deception, and your greatness is not served by matching their foolishness. It is diminished every time you do. Wisdom begins when you realize that your time, energy, and peace are finite. You are not created to validate every opinion, answer every insult, or correct every misconception. You were created to fulfill a purpose, and that purpose cannot be achieved in the middle of pointless arguments. Life is too short to exhaust your spirit on people who refuse to see, to hear, or to understand. Some battles are not yours to fight. Some conversations are not yours to continue, and some people are not yours to convince. Understanding this is not weakness, it is discernment. Understanding this is not avoidance, it is strategy. Understanding this is not indifference, it is the intelligence to prioritize your life around what truly matters. There is power in choosing silence when silence is the only response that preserves your dignity. There is strength in walking away when walking away is the only way to maintain your focus. There is courage in restraint when restraint protects your destiny from being derailed by someone else's foolishness. Every argument you engage in with a person who refuses to grow is a battle you cannot win because the rules are stacked against you. No matter how clear your reasoning, no matter how calm your voice, no matter how solid your logic, they are committed to misunderstanding you. They are committed to twisting your words, misinterpreting your intentions, and dragging you into an emotional pit where nothing can flourish and everything can be wasted. To rise above requires a level of awareness and discipline that many never achieve. You must learn to recognize who is worth your words and who is not. You must learn to recognize that your voice is a tool for impact, not a toy for entertainment. You must recognize that your peace is more important than proving yourself right, and your destiny is more valuable than winning a petty confrontation. You must understand that growth requires elevation, and elevation requires separating yourself from the distractions and disturbances that seek to keep you stagnant. Every time you choose to disengage from a fruitless argument, you are not retreating, you are protecting your potential. You are not giving up, you are gearing up. You are not silent because you cannot fight. You are silent because you have learned that some levels of foolishness are beneath even your greatest efforts. Those who refuse to grow will always be loud, impatient, and relentless in their attempts to provoke. They will question your choices, challenge your intentions, and ridicule your patience. They will attempt to convince you that engaging is necessary, that proving your point is urgent, and that reacting is unavoidable. And yet, the truth is that your growth, your clarity, and your peace demand that you rise above. You cannot allow their smallness to dictate your path. You cannot allow their ignorance to dilute your wisdom. You cannot allow their chaos to disrupt your focus. The moment you understand that arguing with someone who is committed to remaining in ignorance is a trap, you begin to reclaim your time, reclaim your energy, reclaim your power. You begin to walk in a freedom that only the wise experience, a freedom that shields you from unnecessary conflict and positions you to embrace what is truly yours. Every step you take away from pointless arguments is a step closer to your calling. Every moment you spend guarding your peace is a moment spent honoring your purpose. Every word you withhold from those who will never understand becomes a testament to your discipline. You rise not because the world always acknowledges your wisdom, but because your soul recognizes its own strength. You win not by proving a point, but by protecting the life that is entrusted to you. You achieve not by engaging every voice, but by discerning which voices deserve to be heard. You succeed not by dragging yourself into the trenches of ignorance, but by choosing the heights where your vision can soar and your destiny can be fulfilled. Life has a way of testing not just what you know, but who you are, how you respond, and how much of yourself you are willing to give away to things that do not deserve it. One of the greatest lessons you will ever learn is that not every argument is worth your energy, not every voice is worth your attention, and not every opinion is worth responding to. There are people who live to provoke, who thrive on conflict, and who gain power by dragging others into the chaos they carry inside. They do not seek understanding, they seek distraction. They do not pursue truth, they pursue the satisfaction of seeing you react to their nonsense. And if you allow yourself to engage on their level, you risk more than losing the argument. You risk losing the peace, focus, and clarity that are essential to your purpose. Some individuals are not interested in dialogue, they are interested in domination. They will twist your words, misinterpret your intentions, and manipulate your heart to serve their agenda. They are not seeking solutions, they are seeking responses. They are not looking for growth, they are looking for validation that their stubbornness and pride are justified. And the moment you rise to meet them where they stand, you abandon the higher ground that was reserved for you. You step into an arena where logic becomes irrelevant, patience becomes weakness, and truth becomes meaningless. Every word you expend, every ounce of energy you invest, becomes a gift to someone who will never honor it, someone who will never see it, someone who will never appreciate it. Understanding this is the first step toward true wisdom. You must learn to recognize the battles that are truly yours, the conversations that are truly necessary, and the people who are truly open to hearing your truth. Your time is precious, your energy is limited, and your peace is invaluable. When you argue with someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, you are giving away pieces of yourself that were never meant to be spent on futility. Wisdom teaches that restraint is not weakness, silence is not surrender, and walking away is not defeat. Each moment you refuse to argue with the foolish is a moment you preserve your spirit for the purposes that matter most. The greatest leaders, the most successful people, the most fulfilled individuals, all understand that not every provocation requires a reaction. They know that their words are tools, not weapons, and that their energy must be invested where it yields growth, not frustration. They understand that responding to ignorance is like pouring water into sand. It disappears, leaving nothing behind but exhaustion. They guard their time as if it were gold, and they protect their peace as if it were life itself, because in many ways it is. The distractions of those unwilling to grow are heavy, they are draining, they are traps. To step into their chaos is to risk being pulled into a place where purpose is forgotten, where clarity is clouded, and where destiny is delayed. You must rise above the need to be understood by everyone. You must rise above the compulsion. Respond to every attack. You must rise above the illusion that proving a point will ever validate your worth. Not everyone will see your perspective. Not everyone will respect your truth. Not everyone will recognize your intentions. Some people will only ever see what they want to see, hear what they want to hear, and believe what supports their own limitations. Your energy is too sacred to be spent on people who will never grow. Your words are too valuable to be used on those who refuse to learn. Your life is too important to waste on proving yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. The real power lies in discernment, the ability to choose when to speak and when to remain silent, when to engage and when to walk away, when to fight and when to rise above. It lies in the understanding that every wasted argument diminishes your strength, clouds your mind, and distracts you from the path you were created to walk. It lies in protecting your spirit so that you can pour your energy into what truly matters, your growth, your purpose, your destiny. Those who thrive on chaos cannot touch you unless you allow them in. Those who seek to drag others down have no power unless someone descends to meet them. And when you refuse to argue with those who live in ignorance, you step into freedom, clarity, and a peace that nothing in the world can disturb.